Bomer, Niagara IMT. I'm just going to introduce her before she heads up. So Maura is a facilitator and educator in helping people to relieve all types of pain, disability, and dysfunction, whether it be on a physical, mental, emotional, or spiritual plane. She is a certified integrative manual therapist and is the only one in Niagara and the GTA. She holds diplomas and certificates in a wide range of healing protocols designed to help people with any type of ailment. Please welcome Maura.
So my name is Maura Bomer. I am the owner and president of Niagara IMT. IMT stands for Integrative Manual Therapy. You'll be quizzed later on that. But I do want to make sure and acknowledge Spiritual Niagara and say thanks to all the volunteers and just Spiritual Niagara host these great events constantly, and I think they're all wonderful to go out and experience and raise the vibration in the area. So thank you to that and for the theater for hosting us as well. In any case, so integrative manual therapy is a hands-on treatment protocol, hence manual. As necessary, we do work off the body, or energetically, but manual lends itself to putting hands on. And the therapy is a healing protocol that covers all types of dysfunction and disease that people experience throughout their lives, and trying to connect that up with other incidents of old trauma that they might have, emotional blockages which are influencing the pain or dysfunction that they have currently going on, and it might be on a more emotional, mental, spiritual level, as well as it manifesting itself physically. And to unlock the physical and clear some of that, we really need to get down to some of the root causes of how it happened originally, although sometimes it might be a concussion from a motorcycle accident or a car accident, and then it's just helping the body to heal more efficiently, more quickly, and try and make a healing protocol with lasting results. So let me give you an example. A person might come to a physiotherapist with a frozen shoulder, and if you don't know what a frozen shoulder is, it gets really locked down and it's hard to move, it's very painful. Our earlier speaker, Marilyn, I believe, was making a reference to like a thorn in the side that starts to dictate your life. And a person might go to a regular physiotherapist who is giving them strengthening exercises and doing some mobility testing and range of motion techniques, which might be very helpful for that frozen shoulder. They are usually very painful. And basically that the physiotherapist is working within the shoulder. And when we come to manual therapy, we are looking beyond that. So if a person goes to a physiotherapist or a chiropractor or whatever, some modality, and they are healed, and they go on about their life and they have no more trouble, then that's great. Like, as long as you feel better, that's the important thing. But a lot of times things come up again and things are not having lasting results, and they need more influences and just more help from some other modalities. And what manual therapy will do is look deeper into the different systems that are actually in the body. So there's 9 systems, whether it's cardiovascular, cardiopulmonary, the neurosystem, lymphatic system, whatever it might be, digestive, urogenital, anything can influence anything else in the body, because our bodies are a department store. And every department in the store has an influence with other departments. Some of them are quite profound, and some of them are a little bit more distant, but they all work together to create this store. There are other things, however, that are also involved. Some of it might be a past life experience, some of it might be an experience that was not your past life, but somebody else's that's coming through the family line. Something might be a very old trauma that's buried and it's having an emotional effect. So all of these things can really affect where we are now. If you're going to the physiotherapist and they are unlocking your shoulder and you can go ahead and pitch baseball again, that's great. But if you can't, what else is holding back that healing process? And that's why with our hands-on techniques, we start to look a little bit deeper into the possibilities of what we can clear. And sometimes that's verbally, sometimes that's nonverbal, sometimes it's physical, and like I said, more emotional, spiritual, mental, to try and get a person back to optimum health, because we are always trying to achieve optimum homeostasis, meaning that our body is always trying to get better. It's never trying to get worse. It's just like fighting a cold. Everybody in this room has at some point tried fighting off a cold. Our body wants to just do that, automatically get better. In the same sense, nobody can walk into a pool of water and just drown themselves. They can't do that. We have overriding systems to try and keep us as healthy as possible. So we are looking at all of those and trying to combine them together, because traumas and experiences and all the other things that I've mentioned can sometimes really take that availability of optimum homeostasis down, and it's just too much for us to fight through. And so that's where manual therapy comes in. We take away the pain. We know that optimum health is possible for everybody. It's a partnership, so the person takes responsibility to really want to try and get better. And there might be homeopathy involved, nutritional support. We get into quantum mechanics, quantum physics, but we try and look at what other things are there in a broad range to help heal a person. And that can be from this frozen shoulder, it can be an autoimmune disease, it could be something developmental, it could be, some of my favorite work is neurological, whether it's concussion, cerebral palsy, muscular dystrophy, MS, schizophrenia, Parkinson's, all of those things are neurological disorders, and they are also part of what can hold us back from our optimum health and just trying to get us on the path to moving better, looking better, and feeling better with sustainable results. So that's kind of it in a nutshell. Is that, I don't know what the timing is like, but.
Well, you're free to continue.
Yeah, so I can give you some, maybe just some quick stories about how IMT with some clients have worked and what seems like it might be outside the box. So I have nothing against physiotherapists. I worked in a physiotherapy clinic for years. But I know of a little boy, he was about 13 at the time, and this is going back quite a few years. He was playing soccer, went to kick a soccer ball, and pulled his hamstring. Pretty common out on a soccer field. So he goes limping off the field. By the end of the day, they took him to the physiotherapist, and he had a really, really hard time walking. And so he went 3 times a week to the physio for X amount of months. He got to the point of where he couldn't walk, he was on crutches, and then ultimately in a wheelchair. And they couldn't figure out what was going on. So he did come to IMT, fortunately, and the therapist saw him for a couple of treatments and said, oh, well, it looks like the hamstring is pulled, this is a problem, but that's not the source of what the injury is. When he went to kick the soccer ball, he actually made some small micro tears in the back of his bladder. So your body has this incredible hierarchy of what it's going to protect. Going into protective modes is one of the things that causes us pain and dysfunction and disability. So the body will just pull anything that it can, especially a muscle or a skeletal part, in to help protect the bladder, because it does not want all of that waste product floating around, and the body knows that already. It's kind of got its own CEO in the department store who's running the show. So it pulls in a hamstring, the physio's stretching it and giving him mobility exercises, so on and so forth, and then it says, well, I'm just going to get the other hamstring as well. So it wasn't until somebody looked deeper at something outside the box in this case on a visceral level, and realized that there were micro tears. It took maybe a couple sessions and the kid was walking again. So just to give you a bottom line story, how something physical had really been caused by a trauma, and yet there was something visceral, so in the endocrine system, that really needed the healing. But that wouldn't have shown up on an MRI, and it wouldn't have shown up on an X-ray, and they would have kept trying to mobilize this kid's poor hamstrings. Does that make sense? Yeah. So that's one of the ways that we look deeper in to find out what's actually going on. I've had actually at least 3 clients of my own who have come to me for different things and have had their thyroids just upgraded to where they've gotten off of their medication or have not needed to go on a medication because their TSH levels have re-regulated themselves. It wasn't necessarily the intention of why they came to me, but the thing is once you have one thing upgrade in the body, everything else has the capacity to be able to do that, to upgrade itself, because like I said before, the body wants to get better. It does not want to get worse and put itself out of business. It wants to make itself better. So by me working in one case on rheumatoid arthritis and another case on adrenal loads, the thyroid issues more or less disappeared by the time they went back to their doctor. And that's a nice thing because it was very measurable. Everybody had to get their thyroid checked every so many months. So that's another example of where the body trying to get itself better. I can do a little bit of work over here, and then it just takes off from there and has the opportunity to upgrade different systems in it. Okay, so if anybody has any questions, please come back and see me in the back. I am also going to be teaching this spring a course in cranial sacral therapy, if anyone's interested in that, and sign up for a newsletter, and you can always get some information that way. So thank you so much for having me. I hope you enjoy our energetic buffet in front of us. And yeah, again, come and see me if there's anything else to help with.